Welcome to the Stronger Leader podcast, home of the hashtag Stronger movement, where we explore the fascinating tapestry of human experience. I'm your host, Tony Cardello. Each episode, we'll sit down with a remarkable guest to dive into their unique journeys, from successful business leaders to individuals who have faced the darkest of times and emerged stronger, even from some of the inspiring youth of this emerging generation. We'll also cover essential topics on marriage, leadership, as well as spiritual, physical, and mental health, all in hopes to provide you with the tools and motivation to navigate your own life's challenges. Whether you're here to learn, grow, or simply be inspired, there's something for everyone. So get comfy, settle in, and join us as we embark upon this journey together. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as well. Turn on the notifications so you'll know whenever we drop new content. All right, let's get started.
I've heard this a few times.
Welcome to another episode of the Stronger Leader podcast with your host, Tony Cardello. The crowd goes wild. Settle down, folks. I'm here with my man, longtime friend of mine, coworker, and car guy extraordinaire, Tim Gibson. What's up, Timmy?
Not much. I'm trying to hide from my 17-year-old. She's called me 5 times. Daddy, where you going?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, is right. My phone's on silent, Kendall. You can't call me.
All right. Well, man, I'm super excited about this. Here recently I've been watching some of the content you've been putting up, and very, very inspirational, very heartfelt, touching. You've got, I can tell by some of the stuff that you're doing, you talk with some depth. Which usually stems from some sort of a story of a past. And, the whole purpose of the Stronger Leader is to kind of tap into some of that and, get some ordinary people that have done some extraordinary things with their lives in spite of circumstances, maybe in the cards they were dealt. And so,
sure.
I want to give you an opportunity to honor your story, and what little bit I do know is pretty cool. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just start with the general, just tell everybody who you are, where you grew up, where you're from, what you do, just the basics.
Well, grew up.
Name's Tim Gibson.
Tim Gibson. All my life. Yeah. I'm the first. I do have a second out there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, my son.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, and also I've got a daughter named Timothy. So.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
Timothy. Looking for somebody to take the name Timolethea, but nobody will do it.
Hey, if you're watching.
You like that name, Timolethea. There you go.
That's cool. I like that.
Grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. I like to say in the hood. I'm straight hood, yo.
Yes.
You tell?
Yeah, what's up?
32nd and Prospect is where I spent most of my days.
Spec.
And if you don't know anything about 32nd and Prospect, you should look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know where I lived. Let's be honest. I had no idea that I was living in the ghetto.
Because that's where you started.
That's what all I knew.
So.
My auntie lived on 51st and Olive. My grandmother lived off of Park in Kansas City, Missouri. So all I knew was that.
Yeah.
Just the ghetto, but it was home. It was home for me and home for my mom. So until my mom got married in 7th grade, then we moved further out south and went to Southwest High School, is where I graduated from. Then went to KU and flunked out royally.
Hey, you tried. You got further than I did.
Hey, I was great at pool and gauntlet, that's for sure.
Did you play sports in high school?
I played sports, but wasn't great at anything. I mean, I played football, I played basketball, ran track until they gave me a pole vault, and then I gracefully bowed out.
I don't know if I could do that.
Dude, it's scary.
It is scary.
It is scary.
I mean, those guys go up pretty high on that dang thing.
I don't know. I tried it one time. I was like, if this is all you got, because I wasn't very fast, right? And I was tall and lanky. And my coach was like, you'll be perfect at this. I'm like, I won't be perfect at this.
I'm
not at home.
I'm out.
Yeah. But, I was only 6'1", so I thought I was a post player, but I was a guard that couldn't shoot, and I was a guard that wasn't very fast, and I was a wide receiver that didn't like to be hit. So, yeah. sports wasn't my thing. I'm a great coach though.
Yeah.
My older children, they're great basketball players, as a matter of fact. So
yeah. Some people are better coaches than they are players. It's just a fact.
My coach told me that. He said, "You'll be a great coach, Tim."
You're like, thank you, I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Yeah.
So tell me about your childhood, your upbringing, public schools, any sort of different kind of schooling at all?
Yeah, every school I've ever had is closed.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So DA homes from the 2nd grade until the 6th grade, and that's now a nursing home off of Linwood.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to George Caleb Bingham, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
It's a empty lot.
Wow.
Off of Warnell. And then I went to Southwest High School, which is just Mausoleum right now.
So, I'm trying to picture where South was. That's closer to the Grandview side, right?
No, it's in Kansas City. It's on Warnell. It's like 63rd and Warnell.
Oh, that's by Swope.
Brookside.
That's by Swope.
That's southeast.
Okay, that's what I thought that was.
Brookside.
Okay.
It's a very affluent area.
Oh, yeah.
The folks there don't want any kids going to school there.
Yeah, I know,
Like I said, that's why it's a mausoleum. Right?
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
The last thing that happened that I remember, there was a fire there, and they tried to do a charter school, and the neighbors were like, no more.
Yeah.
So it's empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me, take me, so you mentioned, tell me your family dynamics growing up. Any siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Okay.
It was just my mom and myself until I was 10 or so. My mom.
So how early in your childhood did Dad leave?
Dad was never there.
Okay.
Yeah, Dad was never there.
Got it.
Mom was a teenage mother.
Yeah, I remember you saying something.
She had
15.
16.
16.
Yeah, she was pregnant at 15. Her first
Oh.
sexual experience. Got pregnant and her stepfather kicked her out of the house.
Mm.
Luckily, my mother is one of 9, so she's got several siblings, and her older sister let her move in with her, and that's where I was born. 51st and Prospect. So, she was a single teenage mother. I have no idea how she did it, but she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mother was, she did all the stuff, right? Smoked marijuana. I think she drank, and several trips back and forth to Vegas with her best friend. I remember those things growing up as a kid. I remember the violence from some of the boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, living in an apartment complex where there's nothing but have a nice day, smiley yellow faces, and a lot of marijuana going on as a kid. I also remember when that all stopped. I was 8 years old. My mom, she found God, I like to say. So she got saved. And when I say saved, I mean, I come from a Pentecostal background. I'm talking about speaking in tongues but when you smoke marijuana every single day and all of a sudden you stop smoking marijuana every single day, as 8 years old, that 8-year-old who's is very aware.
Yeah.
I paid attention.
Yeah.
And I remember walking to my mom and man, I said, Mom, from now on, I'm going to stop giving you a hard time. I'm going to start saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. And from that day on, the respect that I had for my mother changed because I saw the change in her life.
Okay.
Big deal.
So do you remember what was the turning point for her? Like what occurred?
I have no idea what the turning point was in her life. But one thing my mom always says is that when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to look for a change. And I think that's what happened. I think she was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So if you had me at 16, 8 years old, that puts you around 24 running the streets, it's a long time. I mean, for some of us, it's a lifetime. For other people, they're still doing it, right? Just glad and happy that my mother was able to change her life then, and in turn, it I'm sure changed the trajectory of my life as well.
Yeah, sure. So, do you, to whatever degree you want to talk about, do you recall like what did your mom do to get by? Did she work? Was she, how'd she provide for you?
Yeah, she's always had a job. I remember she worked, did 10K, and she was a receptionist, or she was somebody's secretary. Back then, shorthand. She learned how to do shorthand. So I think she was a secretary most of the time. And my mother's been with the Jackson County Courthouse for 43 years. She's retired twice. Wow. So, yeah, my mother's always had a job, and the job's always done whatever it needed to do for us. I remember we lived on 32nd and Prospect, and I think her rent was $85 a month.
Yeah, I saw you say
so
that.
It didn't take a whole lot of money to get things and make sure it happened. She related the story with me, and when I was 10, she got married, and she met my stepfather at the laundromat, and he worked for a place called Owens Corning. So I think what he used to do is take his clothes and the fiberglass written clothes, he would wash them at the laundromat, and that's where he met him. But she remembers that I asked for milk, and he was like, "Get that boy some milk." The thing that he didn't know, she didn't have money to get me milk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So growing up, I didn't know what it felt like to not have,
right?
Because I never knew that we didn't have,
right?
Mm-hmm. $85 a month, 2-bedroom apartment. Didn't mean much. I had a radio, I had a TV, and I had a mom that loved me. That's all I cared about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I didn't know what I didn't have.
Yeah. Well, there's some, that's what they say, ignorance is bliss sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me, so your mom marries,
mm-hmm.
your stepfather.
Correct.
I noticed in the video, Gibson, did you take his last name, or was that coincidence?
Strangely enough, I did not take his last name, and not because I would not have at that point in time. Mm-hmm. Okay. But my mom told me that he told her, now understand, what he brought to our lives was somebody to provide. I mean, he was a provider. Stability, right? But he was never a father to me. The only father I've ever known is my mother, right?
Yeah.
But she told me that he didn't adopt me, and they did have a child together. I have a younger sister. He didn't adopt me because he didn't want to be stuck with a kid that wasn't his.
Mm. It's tough. So, as you go through life, you start figuring out at some point that what you didn't have.
No, I didn't.
Well, as you get older,
Kinda, I mean, went to Southwest High School, so yeah, there was a lot of different dynamics there, mm-hmm. right? Had people who lived off of Ward Parkway, and had people who lived in my neighborhood. Yeah, it wasn't ever.
So tell me, a boy needs his dad.
I think so.
Right? So, and mom did the best she could with the tools and resources that she had to step into that role. Mm-hmm. Like you said, she's the only father you've ever known. Right. Where do you think, what could have been different for you? What kind of path was altered a little bit not having dad around? Did it show itself? Did it ever really show itself?
Yeah, it's shown itself. That's for sure. Number one, I know who my father is. He was a boxer. He was a 1971 heavyweight Golden Gloves champion here in Kansas City. So
I meant to ask too, your last name Gibson, was that your father's last name? So that's your mother's?
Nope.
Okay.
I could have been something else. My mother said that he jumped on her in the hospital because she did not give him my name. Okay. Honestly, ironically enough. Mm-hmm. So no, it's my mother's name. Gibson's a family name.
Okay. All right. Very good.
But there comes a time in your life when a boy wants to know his father, wants to know,
sure.
And when I got older and I was old enough to go find him, I found him.
How old were you?
22.
Okay.
Yeah. I found him.
No surfacing, no appearances up until that point at all that you recall, or
a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. My uncles were boxers too, and they ran in the same.
His brothers?
My uncle were boxers as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your dad's brothers or your mom's brothers?
My mom's brothers.
Okay.
My mom had 4 brothers.
Got it. Okay.
And they were boxers as well. So they ran in the same circles. So, from time to time, I'd, on a holiday or something like that, he'd pop by the family and say, hey, come pick me up. I came to pick my boy up, pick me up and leave, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
But when I was 22 or so, I went and found him. Brought him to the house. And at that time, I was married and, growing my own family. I remember the first thing I did was cut his hair because his hair was a mess. So I think this is something called punch drunk, right? So after you've been hit so many times, you really become a state where it's really hard to face reality as far as what it was. Mm-hmm. So I remember he's always been a punch drunk person because he did go pro, and I think he wasn't a very good professional boxer. Got hit too many times. Yeah. So, he was never anyone that was a productive citizen. Always lived off the government. Maybe he had a house here or there. And as a matter of fact, he is currently in a nursing home. Mm. So, yeah.
So what's that reunion? I guess you'd call it that. What's that meeting look like? That first meeting with him? What was your intentions?
My intentions is just to see who he was. My intention was to have him around. My intention was to say, hey, look, I got a family. My intention was to say, I did it without you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But my intention also was, in some weird manner, is to possibly have him part of my life.
Yeah.
And throughout the years, I've done that. I mean, I remember distinctly, there's been Father's Days where I just went and found him because it's Father's Day.
Sure.
Even though I'm an adult, what kid doesn't want to spend time with his father?
Sure.
On Father's Day.
100%. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the last time he was at my house, this was just a couple of years ago. I picked him up from the nursing home, brought him to the house, and my grandson, I took them both. This has been a constant thing. This hair is just, he's got hair. I don't have hair. He's got long hair. He's got a white beard. My grandson was with me, and I took my grandson, I took them both someplace, and my grandson, who is 13 now, so this is probably when he was 11 years old, a couple years ago. Took him in there, gave my grandson some money, and said, you need to get his haircut, and you need to get your haircut. And I left for like 2 hours, right? My children, my kids, I got 2 girls that live with me. It's a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old, so they're a couple years old. Yeah. Kendall goes, where's Grandpa? Where's Ethan? I dropped him off at the barbershop. She goes, who's in charge? I said, Ethan's in charge.
The 13-year-old.
She goes, Dad, you are not right. I said, honey, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. So he got the job done, though. They both got their hair cut.
They look sharp. They look really good. As a matter of fact, and I think they called me from there. It was like, your father and your grandson are ready.
Yeah.
Like, cool. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's great.
About an hour. So,
yeah. Questions, Dad. What happened? Like, Dad, what happened? What did any of that ever?
I know what happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. Just wasn't involved. You can't make somebody be somebody that they're not. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, right? It's pushed me to be the best father that I can. I mean, I have 5 children. I've got from ages 38 to 14.
How old are you, Tim? You just aged yourself.
You do realize black don't crack.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? You like 107?
Yeah, 58.
58, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
58.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I've been married 3 times.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 sets of kids. So I've got from 38 to 14. And, I've got my girls more than 50% of the time. When I got married to my first ex-wife, I had my kids a great deal of the time. As a matter of fact, I've got one daughter who just wouldn't go to her mom's house, period. Just there. Dad, you get me, is what she said. Mom doesn't. Like, okay, I guess you're here.
Yeah.
I remember she was in the 5th grade, and they had something going on, and And it was a graduation, as a matter of fact. And they gave all the kids flowers to give to their mother, right? Mm-hmm. This child walks right past her mother, and I'm sitting there at the seat, and I'm sitting there by myself, and hands me the flowers.
Oh.
Dude.
That's awkward.
The tears just started rolling down my eyes. I'm like, I can't believe it that she would do this. But still, the honor and pleasure it is to have this child think that much of me.
Yeah.
Right. Was tremendous. So, yeah, it fueled me to be the best father that I.
You tight with all your kids?
Most of them.
Yeah, I mean, I know they got their own lives.
They have their own lives. I mean, my oldest daughter, she'll call me. She's married, and sometimes she just needs her dad.
Sure.
We'll go. Big KU fans. We'll go watch the game and watch the KU game, and we'll talk about life and talk about conquering the world. And my other daughter, Timmy, mm-hmm. affectionately named Timmy Ariana Marie Gibson is her name.
Gorgeous, love it.
She's made me a grandfather twice.
And you call her Timmy? Timmy's her nickname?
That's her nickname. I love it. Timmy calls me every single day.
Love that.
Every day, several times a day.
And she's how old, that one?
36.
Love it.
Yeah. She tells me all the time that I'm her favorite person.
Your son is your son until he meets his wife. Your daughter's your daughter for life. That's kind of that's one of the.
That's right. Have you met my son?
I have not.
Yeah.
I have not.
Unfortunately, he's just like me.
Yeah. maybe he gets all the good traits. Right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got it all, right?
He's a 34-year-old single male, never been married, and has no children, and is in the car business.
I did know that. Where's he at?
Someplace in Leavenworth. He's a sales manager. I mean, he's been in the car business since he was 19 years old. So my son, until he was 16 years old, lived with me most of the time. And then at 16 years old, he decided that, you get to that age. You think,
he knows what he's doing.
You can take dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried that.
That didn't work out so well.
Didn't work out so well. Wake up, son. Wake up.
Yeah.
So you okay?
So
you
here's
okay?
what happened.
Yeah. So this is what happened. And this is going to happen now. I'm going to take you to your mama's house. So I think he was about 19 years old. He called me. And he said, Dad. I said, son. He goes, I'd like to be a porter at your dealership. Can't do that. However, this is what I'll do. I'll teach you how to sell cars. And I'll do this because when I teach you how to do this, I'll never have to teach you anything else.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Did a great job for me. Sold me for a long time. As a matter of fact, his second complete month, he sold 20 cars.
There you go.
21st birthday, we flew out to Vegas, celebrated his birthday,
and
signed for him his first car. Signed for him his second car. Signed for him his third car until I said, "Dad, I'm done. No more." Yeah, but like I say, he's me, which is good.
And what's his name?
Timothy Alfonso Gibson.
Okay. He's second.
He's Sonny, affectionately known as Sonny.
I love that.
Yeah,
Sonny. That's funny because that's we don't publicly call him that, but I always Sonny Boy. I always call my son Sonny Boy. Yeah,
that's his public name.
I love that.
Sonny. They know if it's family, they all know who Sonny is.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Hey, Sonny, where are you, buddy?
So
calls you for a week, he won't answer me. He'll call me back though. He'll see this. He'll like, Dad, I saw you. Like, okay, whatever.
Tell me tell me your career path. So you dropped out of, you flunked out or whatever. Are you out of KU? You're gone.
Done, right? Coming home, thinking I'm going to just, chill out for a semester and go back, and never went back.
Yeah.
Joined the police department.
That's right. I did know that about you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At 19, 20, something like that. And was there for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Until one day I just decided, I don't like doing this anymore.
Do you remember what years those were?
Well, 89, 90, 91, 92.
Casey Mo, right?
Kansas City, Missouri. So I started selling cars in 94. So the years prior to that, Kansas City, Missouri.
Just trying to figure out if I knew you in that cop life and maybe get you busting me for something.
I'm sure.
But it was possible. I started early.
Possible,
I started early.
I was a cool guy. I was a cool cop. So yeah, I was always good.
So, all right. So you go 94, you go into the business. What made you, what car business? Where's that? How's that translate? Like,
Okay. So
cop to cars.
I relay this story all the time. One of the, my wife, she worked during the day and I worked, midnights. So I'd be home during the day. And at this point in time, we only had one car. And back then I remember getting out the yellow pages because that's what they had back then. If you don't know the yellow pages, just look it up. Right. Yep. And I'm looking in shiny mission Toyota, right? And I pick up the phone, call the dealership, and I'm looking for a Corolla. I got Corollas. You want to come on out and take a look there? Can't do that. I'm the only person home. I don't have a ride there.
Yeah.
Well, the guy back then, and understand, I lived in the hood, 25th and, I don't know, 25th and Prospect, something like that. Comes in my house. Does what's called a go-see. People don't know what a go-see is.
The go-see.
He brings the car to my house, right? Parks it in my driveway, butterflies the car open, knocks on my door, right? Does a walk around in my driveway.
World-class presentation.
World-class presentation. And then we took a test drive in the neighborhood. And this was a white dude, a white redhead dude. I don't remember his name. But you know what? When my wife got home that day, we drove to the dealership and we bought 2 cars. And I think they made so much money on me because I remember we signed up on the deal and I had to go back and re-sign. The payment got cheaper, Tony. How does that happen?
We know how that happened.
They saw me coming. I bought everything.
Yeah.
But, I remember that experience. And when I decided to leave the police department, I took 3 interviews. One, Stanley Cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
One was selling, I don't know, cold meats door to door. And the third one was a car dealership, right? And I went for an interview. They hired me on the spot. I was 28 years old, so I wasn't a kid.
Yeah, right.
Right? I worked for the police department, had some military background. So, I was a deacon in my church.
Hold on, back up.
Oh, stop it.
Military?
Listen.
Did you?
I between my junior and senior year, and after my senior year in high school, I was in the National Guard.
Okay.
2 of my best friends, we did this program where between our junior and senior year, and then senior, you can do your basic training in your AIT.
Okay. But
I was there, but I wasn't there. As a matter of fact,
okay.
I was discharged early because I just stopped going.
All right.
But I was a deacon in the church, so I had some responsibilities, right? I was a youth director. So 28 years old, sharp, articulate, looked the part. They hired me on the spot, and I was going through a transition in my life at that point in time, right? I had my wife and I had separated. I was getting divorced, and understand the divorce was not because she wanted it. The divorce was 1,000% because of me. Mm-hmm. Always running.
Yeah. Long legs.
Always.
Yeah.
Long legs. Always running. And but I do remember because I had moved in with my mother and I was in her basement. She walks downstairs. She looks at me. She goes, "This is my mother to a T, how she is." She goes, "Son, how long are you going to sit here and do nothing?"
I love it. The velvet hammer.
Oh, yeah. I said, "Not long, Mom."
Yeah.
And I think the next day I got up and did those, interviews. And I chose the car business. Mm-hmm. And started off at Franken-Kona Honda. So 13 and a half cars. Was given a demo my first month. Made more money, 3 times the amount of money that I'd ever made my very first month in the car business. And I was hooked.
For sure.
Hooked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's been 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I was, I've
Where did we meet?
At Van, or Courtesy.
Courtesy.
I think you were the new car manager.
How rude was I? Because
I didn't really deal a whole lot with you because I was down on the used car side.
Got
and
it.
I was 18.
Got it.
I didn't.
I run into a lot of people who say, yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, I think everybody was rude to me. I was an 18-year-old punk ass kid.
Yes.
You know? So I pretty much annoyed everybody. You know, and I talk about this all the time. I used to joke that everyone, because I was down the used car building, Balsamo, Sparks, and Robert Bierce were the three. Yeah. Those were the three amigos down there.
Yeah.
And I used to joke that, you know, there was no shame in my game. And when I TOs, I TO'd from the very get-go. I had everybody involved in my deals. Everyone was involved in my deals. You know, I didn't know what I was doing, so I just got everybody involved. Help me. Right. It's like, man, get help. You know? So, so I started TOs right out of the gate. So Courtesy, and you know, Tony Hilger.
Tony
was he was assigned to me kind of as my mentor-ish, you know, in a way, but he was up in the new car building, new Cadillac, right? And so, we didn't get to work too much hand in hand, but you know, he kind of, I don't know, he wrapped his arms around me. He was always good to me.
Tony Hilger was a great guy.
Yeah. Me and him are still buds.
Are you really?
Yeah. We don't talk a whole ton.
I haven't talked to him in a while, but he was. Yeah. A lot of stories back then.
Old Tone, I think he's Italian by proxy. You know?
He wants to be, right? He certainly does. Try real hard, Tony. You're not Italian.
Yeah, right.
Stop it.
Hey, cuz, what do you say, cuz?
Stop doing it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're Frank and Kona. How long is that lesson?
3 months.
Okay,
I was at Frank and Kona for 3 months because their top sales guy, his name was Chris Pazinski.
Russian, I know Chris. Right? I know Chris. I was at Wolf for several years with Chris. Yeah.
So pissed off because it seemed that he got all the deals. You got to understand, I'm a new guy in the business, but I thought I was pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. So after 3 months, I was like, I'm done with this. So I went to Courtesy Chevrolet and Jerry Cobble.
Yep, Cobble. Old Cobble.
I ain't seen about Cobble. Cobble was a tough guy.
He was.
Right?
He liked me.
He liked me too.
Yeah.
He liked me as well. But there's
2:00 every day, he'd throw me his keys to his demo and tell me go over to the price chopper and get us some gizzards.
Really?
Yeah.
So Jerry Cobble, he hired me on the spot, and I started down there in the used cars with Joe Balsamo. Joe Balsamo had been there a couple months before I did, and I've been chasing that guy my entire career.
Yeah. Well, Joe hired me.
He's always been a few steps ahead of me. He's like 25 steps ahead of me right now. Yeah. And chasing Joe for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's always been, well, you know, Dan Ladd hired me. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you, when I was 17 when I interviewed, it was the summer of that year of 97. I was 17. Mm-hmm. And Cobble said, or not Cobble, but Dan Ladd said, I'll hire you, but you got to be 18. So when you turn 18, come back. And so when I left, he called my brother because my brother was in the business and he knew my brother Joe. Right. He's like, hey, are you okay with this? Your brother, why doesn't he come work for you or whatever? He's like, so my brother was like, hey, what are you doing? I don't know. I want to go on my own. I don't want, you know. So he blessed it. And Dan's like, all right, cool. And then so I turned 18. So that's how I always know how long I've been in the business.
How long did you stay there? How long were you there?
So I was there. Not long, a year maybe. Yeah, a year probably. And I floundered around. I remember such a funny story. So my buddy and I got in trouble in Lawrence. We went up there to go to Bleachers one night, and his girlfriend he had just broken up with, she lived in Corbin Hall, the all-girls dorm, right? So we go over there to go see, because they had broken up like 2 days before this. So we go by there to go see if she's there or whatever. I call up to her room. We're down in the little, not lobby, but the area we're in the door, the entryway there, foyer. And I call and she's not answering. I said, dude, she ain't answering. I hang the phone up and she's walking out with some dude.
Oh my God.
And this dude was big.
Oh my God.
You got to remember, I was 112 pounds my senior year. I was a little bitty guy, right? And so my buddy was passed out on the change machine. We were so drunk, right? I think I was 19 maybe at the time.
Right.
And I said, hey, yo, Ronnie. I said, I can't remember her name. I said, Stephanie. Stephanie's walking out with some dude, and he looks up. He goes right after. I'm like, oh boy, this ain't good. And he's a fighter, right? And he wants to fight. So he goes, and he's not as big as this dude was, right? So anyway, long story short, my buddy ends up just coming like downtown. Charlie Brown just smokes this dude,
Really?
takes him out, right?
Oh,
and the guy's out cold, and some other things happen led up to that. But anyway, so we leave.
Uh-huh.
It ends up being the quarterback on campus.
Oh, really?
I think it was maybe around football season or pre-season or something, right? So we get in big trouble, right? Yeah. And me and him lived together in an apartment back in Raytown. So the Lawrence, the KU police are calling us the next day. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't up there. so we, it was an easier time to try to get away with that back then, right?
Can't do it now.
Yeah, I can't do it now. So anyway, so we ended up, we got an attorney, and we ended up turning ourselves in and all this stuff. So we go through the whole court proceeding, right? And I tell Joe, I had to take off work a couple of different times for a few court dates, right? So I tell Joe, I said, hey, this is my last day. I'm going to get sentenced, or we're going to get probation or whatever, and I'll be back. So I go up there for my sentencing, and like 4 hours later, I'm calling Joe from the jail.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
I don't think I'm going to be back today. They just sentenced me to 6 months in jail.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And because we were late getting there, because we got caught up in a wreck, the judge got pissed off at us, and she sentenced us to 6 months in jail. They ended up letting us out after 10 days of shock time. But I was in jail for 10 days. I left for a lunch break, didn't come back for 10 days. But luckily, Joe.
I've been in jail 10 days more than once.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, right.
I thought about this the other day. Not that it's a badge of honor, but it's just what a knucklehead it was. I'm pretty certain I've sat in every metropolitan jail in Kansas City, like Blue Springs, Lee Summit, Independence, Kansas City, Raytown, Grandview. I've been in all of them.
Tony, I lived up here for a long time.
Yeah,
I still don't feel good coming to the north.
I
try to stay out of the Northland. I know a lot of people up here. Okay.
So, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me. Let's go back. I want to talk about your spiritual life. So, were you raised in the church up until? Was your mom part of the church up until this age when you were 8?
8 years old. That's when we started.
That was the start of it. Okay,
it was full fledged. I mean, it was church on Sundays, church Sunday nights. Wednesday was.
And this is Pentecostal from the beginning.
Yeah, Pentecostal.
Okay.
Wednesday service, Friday night Bible study, Saturday prayer. There would be, from time to time, people's houses with Bible studies and stuff like that. And I was in church all the time.
Mm-hmm. So huge foundation, right? Incredible foundation,
right?
And so, at what point in your life do you start, if you have, start walking away from that a little bit, or distancing yourself from that? Maybe not on purpose, but where you find yourself some distance between you and God.
Well, 13 was when I had my own personal experience with God.
Okay,
and from the time I was 13 until 20, 21, 22, 23, up until the time I left my wife and got divorced. So my mid to late 20s is when I started. I mean, Tony, I didn't have my first drink of alcohol until I was 28 years old.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Joe Balsamo, strangely, oddly enough, we won a trip and it was in Florida. My first drink was with him.
No kidding.
No kidding. So the car business has been, all I've known in the car business is that life.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that life is, it's just, for car guys, it's, sometimes it's really difficult to stay on the straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it that way. But yeah, at that age, because up until then I was a deacon in my church. I was a youth director. Very, very, I was a pillar of our church, as a matter of fact. It was like the Pied Piper. It was me and my family and kids in the neighborhood, and we had a drill team that we did, and just a lot of stuff that we did that, I felt a call on my life. And I think I was walking in that call at that point in time. But unhappy in a lot of different areas, because I feel, a lot of it was my personal experience was my personal experience, but it's still, I'm walking for my mother. I'm going to the same church as my mother. This is the church that I grew up in as a kid. Everybody knows who I am as a kid, even though, I've gotten married and had kids and of my own and stuff like that. I'm still the kid, and I think about that because some of my friends who were in that same scenario, they went to college and came back, or they went to the military and came back. Two of them, they went to the military and came back. And when they came back, they seemed to be a little different in other people's eyes. And I was never different in anybody's eyes. I was still little Tim.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty tough for me. But yeah, at 28 years old was when I strayed away.
Can you, because I've heard I've had another guy on here too that grew up in the city and didn't choose that life, man. Light drugs and crime and a lot of that is around those areas, right? Those urbanized areas. How do you feel like you didn't get sucked into that? And did you intentionally stay away from it? Or?
Dude, my mother.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, my mother had a third eye.
Yeah.
So while everybody else was doing heck, I remember being in high school and this is what kids do, right? A teenager, they're passing the marijuana around. They come to me, I'm like, you know who my mother is?
Yeah, right.
No way.
Yeah.
Hard pass. But the life as far as drugs or anything else like that, I mean, heck, man, I was too busy trying to figure out how to get a job. At 11 years old, I'm like you. I went down to the neighbors who had a paper truck and was like, I'd like to have a job. Well, he says, Tim, you're 11. When you turn 12, come back. My 12th birthday, I went and knocked on the door. Mr. Anderson's job and says, I'm 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll pick you up in the morning at 5 o'clock. And back then they had the Times and the Star. So I threw papers in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then in the evening, I'd throw papers again.
Mm-hmm.
I was too worried about having a job and putting that $35 a week in my pocket and going to church and sitting there and praising God. I didn't chase that life because that life never enticed me. It was never an option. It was never anything that I had a desire to do.
That's good. Well, your mom kept you away.
She did.
Insulated. I won't say sheltered. Kept you insulated.
Well, not just that. She kept me insulated. My faith kept me insulated. And as a matter of fact, I had somebody tell me when I was a teenage man that, had it not been for God, okay, who knows what I was a good-looking kid, number one. Number two, tall and strapping, man. I wasn't, Tony, I was a virgin through high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing it.
Right.
Wasn't doing any of that stuff. It's, I made up for it as time went on. But.
So this is where I was going to ask, how do you become a police officer? That's why you're a good kid. You're a good boy.
Left college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And needed a job. Had people that worked for the force. It was,
but I mean, that's an honorable position. You're serving. It's a servant,
Stagnant, maybe a very cynical person. Not what I wanted. It was plan B. I wanted a different plan. I just didn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't what I wanted to do. It was what I had to do.
To take me back when you were a kid, would you have dreams of aspirations? An engineer.
Yeah. I think about it right now. I never had real strong aspirations to be rich or anything like that. I just had aspirations to be better than my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
I just had aspirations to be, somebody who took care of his family. Aspirations just to be looked up to, as somebody that was full of integrity and something that I never had. I didn't have anybody to look up to when I was growing up.
Yeah.
No men.
Yeah.
That were
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
I will say my pastor, I had a female pastor, and she was married. Her husband and her son, they're my best friends, and I spent a lot of time at their house. So I went on trips with them all the time. So he was probably the closest thing that I saw as far as what a man does. Now, understand, I did have a stepfather, but my stepfather was abusive too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he verbally abused my mother. And as I left for college and came back, he physically abused my mother. You know, so he wasn't a good man by any means.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a stability for that season that she needed.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as growing up as a kid, not having, and I don't want to downplay it, but not having dad there from the beginning was probably better than having dad for 10 years and then cutting out, right?
That person, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, who knows what my life would have been if my mother was following him. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'd have to say something about my mother then.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So do you recall that ever being, at what point when you were a kid, did not having your dad or I'm going to show my dad, I'm going to be, any sort of drive, did you have any drive off of that you wanted to be something in spite of him, or did that ever enter your mind?
Well, all my friends, they didn't have dads either.
Got it.
So
got it. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's like, this one's been raised by the grandmother. That one's been raised by the auntie.
Mm-hmm.
That one's been raised by a stepfather. They didn't have their dads. I mean, we ran out in the streets and played football and baseball and rode bikes and stuff like that. And we did it without fathers.
Yeah.
We did it with mothers.
So Tim Gibson, growing up, that I hear so far, raised right.
Mm-hmm.
Mama wasn't playing.
Still don't play.
Yeah. You knew right from wrong, very clearly. There was no guesswork on that.
Mm-hmm.
Where does life take a turn? You're a deacon in the church. You're married. When does life take a hard right?
There's one person, one thing, I think, that's been at the root of a lot of my issues. Now, first of all, let's put in perspective. I have a very addictive personality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've been addicted to gambling at one point in my life. I put myself on the no gambling registry. I spent 2.5 years addicted to cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
$7,000 a month habit that I had. Been addicted to women. Been addicted to porn. Been addicted to a lot of things. I chewed for 25 years of my life, which I don't do now.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing, I think that was the absolute worst for me was alcohol.
Mm.
I've had 3 DUIs.
Mm-hmm.
I've totaled 2 cars out. One car I totaled out, Tony, I have no idea why I'm still alive. But I remember, the last thing I remember was just driving, trying to go home, and I woke up and there was a pole in between where I'm sitting, the other side of the seat that came straight through the car.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea how it missed me, or no idea how the heck, no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So alcohol's been a constant force to my downfall.
Where are you at with that right now?
Sober.
How long?
2 years.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Good. So tell me, all right, so at what age, so around 28, I'm hearing, is when you kind of take a hard right, start bouncing off some guardrails. And
Yeah, in the car business. I mean, I got fired twice from the van, you know what I'm saying? Definitely one was because of alcohol. Got fired from a few other dealerships in town, definitely because of alcohol. Went to jail a couple of times because of alcohol. Lost 2 marriages, I would say, because of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that guy's undefeated as far as stay away from him.
Yeah, that's good. At what point are you sick and tired? What was the final straw for you? Because I know, here you're 58 years old and 2 years sober. That's 56 years of we'll call it 28 years of.
Yeah, but even after things happened in my life, I didn't get sober just because I got sober. I got sober because it was convenient because I was on probation.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working at McCarthy, and I got arrested for domestic violence, and alcohol was involved. I got fired from McCarthy. And this was 4 years ago. And when I did that, I got sequestered out to Clinton, Missouri. I was in Clinton, Missouri for 3 years.
Sequestered.
I say that because, it was an hour drive there and back. And I've done this before. I worked in St. Joe for 3 months, and it was an hour drive. I hated it. Mm-hmm. But this was different for me. I used that time to reinvent myself.
A lot of windshield time.
A lot of spending time with people that I grew a relationship with. Bedros Keuilian. It has a man show that I listen to.
I love Bedros. Yeah, he's good.
Myron. There's another guy named Myron that I listen to.
I know Myron Golden.
Myron Golden. And the list of names go on and on and on. I did 75 hard. Mm-hmm. I did carnivore diet, right? And I started to do things that required me to have discipline because I wanted to be a disciplined person. I wanted to be Tim 2.0. Mm-hmm. I was tired of that old guy. And the thing about it is, even though my children are around, but, even now, I think there's some, my girls, I've got 2 beautiful girls. I'm a dance dad, okay? Mm-hmm. Even now, I'll get a lot of phone calls from my 17-year-old, not because she's needy or anything like that, but she's just checking on her dad. Because guess what? She doesn't 1,000% trust me.
Yeah.
She wants to make sure, Dad, where you going? Are you okay?
Yeah, you good?
You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Why are you going to Liberty tonight? Right? So it's taken a lot of time to build their trust and
sure.
and for them to have anxiety, okay? Because, quiet as kept. They've been at my mom's house and Dad didn't come home, and Dad didn't come home because Dad was in jail. Because Dad got stopped for DUI.
Yeah.
So, then Dad had to go to rehab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, that 3 years was a great transition period in my life. And I learned so much. And I never smoked cigarettes. I did smoke cigars and stuff like that. But I chewed for 25 years. And when you do something for 25 years, and Tony, I was up to 3 cans a day.
Oof.
And when I took a can, half of the can was gone when I dipped it, right? First thing I'd do in the morning was take a dip. And I'd do that a lot of times before I hopped in the shower and brushed my teeth. That was the biggest, and I never stopped because it was too hard, right? Mm-hmm. I never stopped because I wanted to do it. I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
Until one day I was like, this is just another thing that controls me. And I refuse to be controlled. So I just stopped.
That's great. Yeah.
So, it took a time and a while to get there. And anybody that would sit in my car, my buddy, my best friend, sit in my car and next thing you know, he's not drinking anymore and he's not doing this anymore. My daughters, when they sit in the car and I was like, Dad, I never knew you were like this. And all of a sudden they're seeing a different person. Mm-hmm. And when your family sees you as a different person, that's when you're really different because, the life we live out here, everybody, they only see us for a little bit, right?
Correct.
And even now, as I do videos and stuff like this, my daughter, Timothy, she goes, yeah, I never knew you, Dad. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, doing these videos, I get to see a different side of you.
Yeah.
All I see is a strong dad, a stern dad. Even at her age, a grown, woman. I think that's all she's seen, right? But for her to see these videos and me to be vulnerable about where I've been, right?
Yeah.
Is food for her. It's helpful to her. And my son, and my daughter, and even my children, the younger ones, Kendall, was like, Dad, I want you to stop doing videos, right? I'm like, why? She goes, because every time you do one, my friends send it to me and this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. Like, honey, I don't do these videos for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't do them for you. But now, guess what? She's the first person who likes a video.
I went through that when I first started doing these too. The girls are like, embarrassed.
Right.
Podcast. Now they're like, when can I come on the podcast?
Yes. And also they want to be a part of it, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's it. That's what changed my life. It just, I see a vision of what life can be. And I'm stopping the running from God. Because at some point in time, when you have a calling in life, right, you got to step into the promise, into your purpose. I'm ready to step into my purpose. And my purpose is to share what I've done, share where I've been, share how I've overcome, and help somebody overcome as well.
It's never too late, right?
Never
too late. You got, and it's remarkable what you're doing, because I think you are that addictive personality. You're still an addict, and what you're feeding it, is good, right? You're addicted to good. You're addicted to doing good. You're addicted to doing hard things, doing disciplined things. Addiction. I tried to explain this to people. Addiction doesn't know good and evil. It only knows what you give it.
That's right.
And it's in my opinion, I think it's a blessing. It's a character trait that is a blessing, because you and I have a passionate character trait that anything we do, we're going to not only do it, we're going to be the best at it.
Correct.
We're going to do the most of it. So it better be good or not. Because I used to have a joke. I tell people, hey man, be good. If you ain't going to be good, if you ain't going to be good at it. You know what I mean? And that was it, man. I was going to be the best. I could snort the longest line of cocaine out of anybody I've ever met in my life.
Listen, I think there came a time where I was probably maybe trying to make up for lost time, right? But I became that person. First of all, it was like, Tim's going to be there. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right? Yeah. You're the life of the party.
Right. And then I became that person who was like, Tim's going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. You're going to, no.
Yeah.
Not him, right? Because everything I do, I do it.
Overdo it.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm too much, right? You're going to hang out at Tim's house. Well, you don't want to do that. Make sure you don't drive, and make sure you take a cab home, right? We used to do these Super Bowls during Super Bowl season, and when I was married to my last wife, we'd start with the shots first thing in the morning as the game's on, and it would go every time the Chiefs scored. Back then, the Chiefs were high flying scoring, so every time they scored, we'd take a shot. Right?
I can get out of here quick.
And then it went from every time they scored to every time the other team scored. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got worse and worse, and there was a couple of videos that I had to get taken down because I was drunk, and that's not a good place to be. I don't miss that life. I don't miss I don't miss the headaches. I don't miss the hangovers. God, I don't miss that stuff. Right?
I don't either.
I don't miss not being aware to be able to. I just don't miss it. Even with a cigar, for me, still a mind-altering drug, okay? Because it puts me in a different state of mind. Anything that's going to put me in a different state of mind than what I normally have, then the fact would, I just don't want a part of it. I don't want any part of it. It's the same thing with women. There's certain women that I have to stay away from because they're addictive to my personality. And my personality is, I will take all you have, okay? And when you give me everything you have, I'll ask for more and more and more and more and more and more, right? And for a woman, it just becomes so difficult to please a man like me.
Sure.
I don't want to be that person. And I'm working really, really hard not to be that person.
What's your current relationship status?
Well, Tony, I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen my separated.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Man, you've been extremely vulnerable with your story, and I appreciate it a lot. You know, looking back, I gotta wonder. I'm just sitting here trying to process all this, man. You're a good dude. You know what I mean? You're a good dude at your core. Got kind of lost your way a little bit, finding your way back. So I kind of feel like, you know, psychologically, when you drink like that, especially drinking, I feel like there's some masking, there's some hiding, there's, you know, what do you, looking back on that, what do you think that was? Why do you think drinking was such a divisive part of your life?
I could just...
Were you masking?
Yeah, I was masking, number one, right? And I was, number two, I was hiding. I was avoiding. I was in a fantasy land. Now I get to spend that time doing really productive things, like videos and thinking about life and how I want life to be better for not just me, but for my children, right? And, how do I make an imprint, right? That's so valuable, right? That I can change somebody else's life.
Yeah.
I want to be able to use my mouth to change somebody else's life. I want the masses to be changed by what I say.
You know, that calling on your life, that gift, that gift of influence, that gift of gab, that salesmanship, right? It's there for a purpose, that's for sure. And you're charismatic, man. You've got an ability, an innate ability to connect with people rapidly. It definitely, you definitely have a higher calling on your life. That's for darn sure. And, listen, piecing all together, knowing the spiritual life that I know and how God works, I feel like you've been put through all of that so that you could, because this story needs to be told.
It does.
It needs to be told a lot, often as you can. And I think with you doing your videos and things like that, it's gonna definitely help, because that's, you came out of this thing, you didn't die. Hey, you don't even know what happened that night in the car. How you didn't die, I know.
Right.
I know how you didn't die, because God's been planning on this, working. He works all things for good, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're stepping into your calling, doing these videos, reaching out. And, that's why, when listen, man, I haven't known you this intimate for at all, but I've known you for many years, almost 30. Right. And, you've always been, I've always liked you, you know what I mean? But you kind of had that cop mentality first, and I was a freaking criminal. So there was just like oil and water from the get go, exactly. And you were older than me. And so, it was just not, you had this arrogance and this air about you. But I've always liked you, 'cause I think I like that swagger you've had. Right. Right. I've always steered clear. Always been skeptical, as long as I've, like you said, daughter's not trusting. And man, when I saw those videos, game recognizes game, right? Yeah. So when I see these videos and I see there's an authenticity, number one, I mean, anybody, that could be a front too. It certainly could, right? No doubt. But just some of the things you're saying, how you're projecting it, your tones, the things that's why I reached out to you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I sense that authenticity, and I think it aligns perfectly with what I'm doing now, where I'm at in my life. And I think that the fact that you're back in the organization with us, and part of the same team that I'm on. It's awesome, right? And
Tony, I'll be honest with you. I scoped you out. I don't know, 6-7 months before I came back, and not just once you started doing this, the Stronger Leader, but before that, when you started doing the videos, I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And I did a vision board, and on my vision board, I had several different things. I had trading, I had church, family, I had a couple different houses, right? We got public speaking in a podcast, right? And all these things that I see myself doing in the next 5 years, right? So when I see somebody doing it that I know, a car guy, right? Versus somebody else that's whatever, and not just doing it, but I know for a fact you're doing it every day. And when I got the text message from you at 5 a.m, I giggled because I know what high achievers do. I know what time they're up. And they're not sleeping at 5 a.m, bro. They're getting it going. They're starting their day, right? And I got that 5 a.m. text message from you, and I just cracked up. I got another buddy that does that. His name is Mike Wilson. He's an owner of a few dealerships, and he's the one that really started this journey with me. He had all these books, and he'd give me a book for this, and hey, Tim, listen to this, and do this, and
just feeding you some soul food.
Yeah, because I don't have many friends, right? And especially, who was it I listened to? It was Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said that he didn't have a lot growing up, right? But he was exposed to some 1%ers in their lives, right? So when we get exposed to a 1%er, a John McCarthy, a Chris Lee, who's done some great things, a Tony Cardello, right? Who's done some great things. I mean, it's who I aspire to be. It's who I aspire to be around. That's who I want feed muscle.
You're the average of the 5 people closest to you, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. That's what I told my wife. I can't remember one time. I said we have to get some new friends because I need more money. Oh man,
that is true.
Well, brother, I'm one of the things that when I started seeing a psychologist, probably around March of last year, I just kind of had a sticking point. It was a plateau and kind of a life coach, but somebody with a high that could understand a high achiever, right?
Is that the one you sent me? The one guy you were listening?
Maybe, possibly.
He used to be in the military.
Yes, Dr. Wayne Chappelle.
Yes, correct.
So that's my doctor, and he actually co-authored my book with me. So he's great, man. He's the doctor for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and just kind of really helped me step into, and he's a devout Christian as well. So, understood the full dynamic, right? And so just kind of challenged me and pushed me into some areas, and knew that leadership was a big part of my life. And so and then obviously, we followed Jesus' example of the best leader, right? And so this just kind of developed, and it all happened. I'll share the whole story because I've told it on this podcast a few times, so I don't want to bore the listeners with it again, but the Stronger was just an acronym that we came up with because he told me to come up with leadership principles that I want to remember. And so we came up with Stronger, and it's spiritual, trustworthy, resilient, open-minded, noble, genuine, encouraging, and relentless. And that's just my acronym. And then there's the addiction, right? Anything worth overdoing. I'm laying in bed 2:00 in the morning that night. I was like, man, I really like this.
Yeah.
Like this. So I got on Wristband Bros and ordered 2,000 bracelets.
Well, I even see the TC too. I mean, it's the
the
2.0 version.
Well,
that's what I look at.
So that's the second. That is that I actually just decided to take that on as the second meaning for that. The real meaning behind that is my son. I started doing these videos. He works out with me at 5:30 in the morning.
I've seen those too.
Yeah, and so and when I first started doing them, a couple of days into, he's like, "Dad, what are you doing?" I'm like, I want to tell. I don't, without going, like, I'm trying to be a better man for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
right.
He ain't understand that he's 10. So I said, honestly, man, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm stepping out in faith a little bit, being obedient, and and just trying to lead men to be better men, and try to be a good example of that. And I said, you want to do this with me? He's like, what do I do? I said, buddy, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know, man. Just come along with me. He's like,
Right.
do I got to do videos? I was like, yeah, man, maybe, whatever.
yeah.
We'll figure it out. He's like, all right, I'll do it.
Sweet.
So he's my junior, and that's where the 2 came from.
Got it.
So because it was just TC, and then I ended up. So on the iPhones, you can mark up a picture with your finger. You can draw on it, whatever. So I took the logo, blew it up on my phone, and I sent it to the guy that does my T-shirts for me. And I said, "Hey, do me another set of T-shirts and add the 2 like this on it." And I just drew it on there, and he just kept it. He just
cool.
that was I drew that on the iPhone.
I love it.
So
yeah,
everything that we've developed is just kind of like falling into place. The Stronger Leader, that was the second part of my being a psychopath and going further with this. I wanted to do a website.
right.
And so I got on GoDaddy to look for a domain. I was like, Lead Stronger, all these different, none of them was available. And the Stronger Leader was the only thing available. And now I couldn't even imagine it being anything else.
This is crazy because we have these things that we want to do in our life, right? This last one, the last video I did about my mother, I've been wanting to do that for some time. And I always, there's a song that goes, give me my flowers where I can smell them so that I can see the beauty that they live. It's something that I always wanted to do was for my mother, was some type of tribute. And I want to do it while she has the opportunity to really, really enjoy it.
Understand it.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this is one thing I know about me, about high achievers, about people with addictive personalities. We can do anything we want to do if we put our minds to it.
Yeah.
It just takes us stepping away from the TV, from Netflix, from your phone, right? And getting some time alone in your thoughts, whether it's on a typewriter. I do a lot of stuff talk through text personally, and or whatever the case is. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish, where life will take you if you'll just get out there and start living life. And part of the reason why I started doing these videos, and if you've seen some of my videos, a lot of us was be cooking and stuff like this as well. It's quite as it's kept. I had somebody that I talked to a lot, and we stopped talking to one another. So it was kind of therapy for me, right? And then, as I started doing it, it was like, well, let me add this to it. And then I'm listening to other people talk, and then like, well, it's not really what I want to hear. Really, I want to say this, right? And then I showed it to somebody. I was like, okay, Tim, but why aren't you using your voice? It's like, I love your voice. It's like, I love my voice too.
It makes 2 of us.
Let me use my voice. It's kind of grown to that. And I don't know where it's going to go, where it's taking me, but, I've had people just this week call me, send me text messages. One in particular said, hey, what's your recipe for your...
I love that.
What's your recipe? Send me your recipe for your meatballs that I just did. I did a video. I sent him my recipe. And another person called me and says, I was thinking about you. I'm at home all day and cooking. Just thinking about you. And another person said, what? For some reason, I feel very encouraged when I watch the videos, but I'm very hungry too. So, yeah, pretty excited about it.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Well, so, one of the things that I have grown to love about this podcast is Dr. Wayne said, what's cool about these videos, man, it's your legacy is going to be out there for years to come. I mean, who knows, could go for 100 years from now. We don't know.
Right.
He goes, so, just think about that. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to pass that momentum or whatever, that torch to my guests. Like, hey, man, this thing might be here for a while. Leave a legacy statement, So I kind of gave you a little preface with that. And, did you think about that at all?
I did.
What message do you want to leave? It could be a young man going through marriage struggles. It could be whatever wisdom you want to impart on somebody 100 years from now.
So in one of the videos I did, It's about my mother. And it's about when she found God. And when she found God, in turn, what it did is change my life. And in turn, when it changed my life, it changed my children's life. Mm-hmm. Right? So what it is a generational blessing that God gave, right? And we think about generational curses, so to speak.
Yep.
Right? And what's been a generational curse in my family has been alcoholism. It's been men dying too early, because all the men in my life, her brothers are all gone. They all died of addiction or way too early. You know, the legacy that I want to live is one of overcoming those things and understanding that you don't have to be like your father if he wasn't a good person. You can start your own legacy, mm-hmm. your own legacy of wealth and happiness and health. When I look at my son, who, you know, I gave an opportunity to be in the car business. Not only did I do that, I've got a second cousin who is in the car business right now because of the opportunity that I gave him. And, you know, my niece, her boyfriend is in the car business now because of the opportunity that I have. You know, I hope what I do or what I can do is pass a legacy of wealth, health, and each one teaching one.
Mm. That's good. That's good. Jesus at the center of it.
Yeah.
Got to, right?
Absolutely.
Got to.
Sure.
Brother, thanks a ton for coming on here, man. It's been great. This is good. And did we cover all the grounds that you wanted to cover? Was there anything?
No,
yeah. I mean, I think your story's thick and rich and, mm-hmm. it's, you know, tragic and beautiful all at the same time.
Yeah, and
right?
It's just starting. You know, who knows where I'm going to be in a year? I mean, I always look at my life, and if I did it in 6-month increments or a year increments, you want to look back and say, okay, I'm better off today than I was yesterday.
Yep.
Right? And I've helped many more people along than I did last year. And that's my goal. My goal is to help somebody else and to look back and actually see something, right? Yeah. See something that's been built and not just for the sake of building, but for the sake of enriching someone else's life.
Well, I can guarantee you that, you know, there's going to be people watching this, and, you know, I love the thought of, because I know how God works, right? I know there's going to be, there's a lot of fruit that will bear that we're never going to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's okay. And that's, right. Because it isn't about us, right?
It's not.
It's not about us. It's about what we can give back to this world. I told everybody, man, you know, first 37 years of my life, I stole from heaven, and I'm going to spend the rest of it giving back, you know, and that's the truth. So,
I love it.
All right, my man. Well, I'm going to hit the ejection seat, do my little outro.
Okay.
And get up out of here, man. Sweet. I appreciate you a ton.
Appreciate you.
I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up more. And I'm going to, I'll put a link in the description here to your Instagram page so that people want to follow along. And
yeah, I probably need, right now on TikTok. You can see a few of my Instagram.
Oh, you're on TikTok. Okay. Yeah.
I'm
okay.
I'm on TikTok. Right
okay.
now.
So I'll do that. So it's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. You're going to appreciate this, because I started on TikTok because I had never been on that platform, and that's where I started. And I think I'm doing, you know, I look back, the videos were terrible the first one, but I think I was like, these are cool. They're really inspirational. So I start sending them to a couple friends, you know, here and there. And they're like, I don't know, I can't see it. I don't have TikTok. I'm like,
right.
There's like 9 billion people in this world on TikTok, and my friends ain't any of them.
I've heard that before. That, which is why I started posting on Facebook too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you do Instagram, that will take care of Facebook, because if you link the account, it automatically simultaneously will post.
Got it.
Yeah. So
got it.
I'll put you up on that.
Appreciate
I'll put you up on some
You got some game for me.
I got some game for you.
Thank you, bro.
All right. I'm going to hit it.
All right.
Hang tight. Well, that's another successful episode of the Stronger Leader podcast with my man, Tim Gibson. Timmy, thank you for coming out, my man. And listen, if you guys like the content, hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell so when all the new drops drop, you get notified. As always, be good, be blessed, and be stronger. Peace.
Peace.